Time standing still, our lives move on. The feeling of emptiness is still hanging on. Try as I might, I don't seem to succeed.
1 minute.
Still searching for answers, and there's something I need.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. I like to try to allow people to start coming into the room. I don't want to start talking about any particular subject, and then I'm only talking to like two people, and then people start showing up, and they're like, "Oh, what did we miss?" So I like starting it out and giving people a chance to sort of congregate and get at least enough people to have a conversation. What's up, Tom Freeman? What's up, Landon? What's up, Mike Jennings? Anybody else there? Just let me know you're there, and we could get this thing rolling. Let's see. Yep, active league, so it's official. Landon says, saw the disco ball shining in the clouds out my window. Thanks for putting the signal out. Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, obviously the main topic for today is going to be about the league, letting people know details, actually trying to figure it out. Hey, what's up, Mark? Good to see you. The only if you guys show up, just give me a shout out. Let me know you're there, and I'll feel like I'm not just talking to myself and maybe one or two people. I hate to feel like I'm wasting airspace and then people show up kind of late. And I did notice that people a lot of times show up after like 9 o'clock. Um, it sucks. You're trying to find the right time for most people, and because it is a small channel, I always feel kind of bad, like I might be alienating people. Yep, change the name. That's actually the first thing. I wrote down a little list here of things that I want to go over. And at the top of the list is the league name, right? We did keep in touch, but just to let everyone else know here, Landon 822 is actually running the league, right? As I said from the beginning, um, I'm not the best person to actually do the actual running of the league, right? I don't want to get lost and screw things up, and I'd much rather leave it in the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing. So we did speak earlier today, and I did mention um, I wanted to change the name of the league, right? Because it was originally intended. Hey, what's up, Tiger? Bobby Birch. Oh shit, man, you ate pretty quick. Brandon Solomon, good to see you. Welcome everybody. Yeah. So, as I was saying, originally my idea for the league was to do it sort of around the idea of having a league for content creators, right? But it's one of those things where you don't really put a lot of thought into it, and then reality sets in, right? And somebody did mention it in a previous live stream. When I was talking about it, they said, well, you're going to have a hard time getting bigger YouTubers and content creators to want to join. Usually, they want to find where there's a platform bigger than theirs, where they can actually use it to promote themselves. And that is actually a good observation. So the honest truth is, this is a very small channel. Very few people know who I am, except for a handful of YouTubers that we've touched base from time to time. So I'm not going to be able to attract like content creators, right? Especially guys that are much bigger, right? So it doesn't make sense to call it a content creators league. The whole idea of getting content creators to be racing each other, I still think it's a great idea. I honestly think that if you actually had a league with a bunch of content creators that have their own following, it could be a cool thing, right? So the concept to me is still a good idea. It's just I'm the wrong guy to like lead it, right? It really needs to be something that a really big YouTuber wants to do. Like if somebody with a big platform was to go out and tell all his subs and everybody, "Hey, I'm going to start a league for especially for content creators. You want to come be part of it and we can all sort of compete against each other." I think it's good for every platform and all of their followers, right? And I just think it's interesting, right? So I still think the idea would work, but yeah, like I said, it's just not. It's not going to work with me. And as you could see, I wanted you guys to see that the league is actually starting to be formed. So you have Landon Kimmett, who is actually running the league. If you want to be part of this, and you're on iRacing, let us know your name on iRacing, and we can get you on or send you an invite. Um, so there's Landon Kimmett, there's myself, Jose Polanco. I hate that there's a number two behind my name, but I'm going to give you a quick background on that. But before I do, Jay McDonald is joined. Um, I've raced against him more than once on iRacing. Good, clean driver. Uh, so, I'm glad he wanted to be a part of this. And hopefully we can get a good group together. So that is on my list. We're going to talk about things like minimum member count that we're looking for and other as well as other things. And then I can get your input as well. But a quick story on my member name. I had originally, I think I signed up for a trial to iRacing years ago. I'm going way back, okay? It might have been during the Eutechnics era. And I meant to just, out of curiosity, try it. I never actually did anything with it. But because I signed up when I actually joined 3 years ago, and I decided to do it, of course, they put a number two behind my name because my original name was taken, but it was taken by me. And I hate having a number behind my name. It's just one of those quirky things. It's not a big deal, but that's why there's a two there. It's not that there's another Jose Polanco. It's that I fucking signed up years ago, but I never did anything with it. I forgot all about it. I guess I was curious. I wanted to see you know, what the process was or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. But let us know. You can get in touch with, as you could see here, Landon Kimmett or myself, and we'll send you out an invite. And yeah, so we changed the name of the series because, like I said, doesn't make sense. So far, as far as I know, I'm so far the only content creator that's here. So we changed it to the Disco Cup series, okay? Um, if you guys prefer a different name, let me know. Right? obviously you can't please everyone, and you're not always going to be all on the same page. But I do want to sort of gauge your opinions on certain things, and I don't want to just come in and say, yeah, I'm going to do this, 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 and this, and it has to be my way or the highway. And I really want to sort of try to entice people to come. Hey, what's up, Tanner Sharp? Good to see you. Let me go up and read. Hold on a second. Let me read some of this. Okay. How is there only three people? I would join if I had Iris. Yeah, look, I'm not really shocked. Believe it or not, nobody really knows who I am. Very few people. On iRacing, once in a blue moon, I'll have somebody say, "Hey, aren't you Disco Inferno? I like your videos." That stuff, but that rarely happens, right? So I'm not well known. It is a small channel. You guys already know that. So I'm not really surprised. Like, if this was Captain Sleeveless, I guarantee you he could run 5 leagues and they would all be filled, right? So unfortunately, that's the thing. If you have a small platform, this is the kind of response I expect, right? You had a taco. That's why it took so fast. Okay. What's up, Sharp? Sign me up. Yeah, listen, man. Let us know what your name is on iRacing, and either I or Landon Kimmett will send an invite. I can't do it right now. I'm at work, right? So I try to sign on to the iRacing thing. It's not letting me. My internet is real slow here at the job, and I think it showed earlier that it was offline for some reason. Yeah, it says here system not in service. So I don't know. I can't mess with this here on the job. But I'm sure Landon, he's here right now. He's in. So anybody who's interested, please say iRacing member name and then or whatever. Just put your name and then we'll make sure to send out the invites that you can accept. I already did send extra invites today earlier. A couple of people from that I do know. They haven't responded yet, obviously. So yeah, everybody's welcome. So before I get to the list, let me see if I missed anything. So, okay, Michael Jennings 5 is your name. Okay, so either Landon, okay, Landon will take care of it. In either case, tomorrow from home, if we missed anybody, I will do what I can to send out invites. Believe it or not, it took me a little while earlier today when I was home to try to find how to send the invites, and then I figured it out. So I am really bad with when it comes to computers and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, we'll do what we can, but we'll make sure we'll get everybody in who wants to be. Let's see. So Landon said he'll get you that invite. Okay. Uh, all right. Let's see. So that's Mike Jennings, Tanner Sharp. Okay. We'll make sure that we send something out to you. I did get a couple of responses from some YouTubers. What if already responded? I did send Alan Bailey an invite. He says he couldn't because he works Friday nights. So unfortunately, the schedule is also an issue. And for me, Friday night's like the best night for me. And if you can't make a race for two, it's not the end of the world. But the other nights are really difficult for me. So hopefully it's not a problem for you guys. Uh, so we're gonna try to get this done. Let's see. Okay, so Landon's he's getting on his PC now, so maybe we'll have a good group. Um, let's see. Ignition 21 leagues. Who's that? Oh, Captain Sleeveless. Yeah. He did get an invite, by the way. Not from me. Landon sent it out, but he's not going to accept it and whatever. See, invites are sent. Okay, very good. Sharp says, in the process of creating your own NASCAR YouTube content, starting off by doing a 87 AI NASCAR season with fictional driver names. Thought it would be cool for fun. Yeah, man, that's cool, man. I'd like to check it out. Hey, man, you gotta. My only advice to people is be genuine. Don't chase views. Okay. Um, well, you know what? Let me take that back. I'm giving you advice how to end up like me. That after 10 years, I got only 1,500 subscribers, right? So maybe you shouldn't listen to me. It depends on your goal, right? If this is just a hobby, okay, then yeah, like don't worry about, just do the things that make you happy to do or talk about or whatever, right? When you chase views and you're trying to find, get attract subscribers, then it's more of a business mentality, right? If you're doing it as a business, definitely don't do it the way I have, right? It doesn't bother me because, I started off really just to vent about how bad the video games were. And I like talking about NASCAR and NASCAR games and I have other interests. Unfortunately, the little bit of people that I have like cultivated as followers, for the most part, they're like, we just want you to talk about NASCAR and NASCAR games, right? Like we don't want to hear about politics. We don't want to hear about anything outside of that. So I don't want to like force other stuff on people that's really not in their, they're not interested in, right? So I don't mind. It's not the end of the world, but I am capable of getting into other stuff. I have other interests in life, believe it or not. Um, so just putting that out there. I'm always open to discuss all kinds of stuff, but obviously the people that have gravitated to me are from that NASCAR world. So I'm not really surprised. Um, but yeah, man, have fun and see where it takes you. If you're doing it as a business, then yeah, you got to do things differently. See, someone just applied to the league, Scott Boyden. Are you in this chat, Scott? Do you know him? I'm not sure if I know him. For one, I have a bad memory, so don't be offended if I don't remember you by name. My memory is horrible, right? Um, so don't take it personal. So it kind of sounds familiar, maybe, maybe not. But in either case, hey, we're looking for members. So, yeah, whoever wants to join, let them join because right now I want to see if we can get a decent sized group, which we'll talk about in a second. Let's see. Maybe he'll tell you if he knows me because I don't. I remember. Let's see. And I hate every time I scroll with this mouse, it goes all the way down. All right, hold on. All right, let's see. All right. Barn Burner Gaming, welcome. The Core League is an iRacing league created for content creators. It started out as a Heat League and now it's an iRacing league. Been around a few years now if you want to check it out. I am Scott. Oh, okay, man. Nice to meet you. So yeah, sign him up if he's interested. Yeah, you see, I'm not an expert on iRacing. I've been on it for 3 years and I basically do one-off races throughout the week. I was in one league, which I'll talk a bit about in a little bit, right? I really enjoyed it. Like to me, if you are on iRacing and you don't join a league, I think you're missing out. That's my advice, right? For me, being part of a league, it adds immersion. It gives you something to look forward to and you makes you feel like you're really a part of something. Like when you race, you're racing for something. It's not a race that it's a throwaway race, right? So you're racing for points. You're battling the same guys, right? Um, and the whole point of this, right, is immersion, right? And I really enjoyed it, and I did not do well, right? I struggled and I still had a good time because of the immersion, right? And I really felt like every position that I earned, like I was actually doing something. So there's a sense of accomplishment there that you just don't get just doing regular races. So I do recommend to anybody, if you can find a league to join, it will elevate your iRacing experience, right? So I've talked a lot about the negatives. Yes, it's expensive. And a lot of times when you race people, sometimes people tend to take it a little too seriously, right? And they're not as forgiving when you make a mistake or you cause a wreck. And I've seen people get yelled at. I've gotten mad, right? So I'm not perfect either. I've caught myself getting sucked in and getting mad. I've been wrecked. Um, so it's kind of what you just get when with online racing, right? No matter where you go. So, but if you can join a league, it's a different experience. And a lot of these leagues, what I do like, which is unfortunately, this is like something beyond my understanding, but a lot of these leagues do have their own websites, and they charge a fee because that fee goes to things like actually live streaming broadcasts of the race as if like you watch on TV. I can broadcast the race when I'm in it, and I will do that. But in my opinion, that's you're only getting my point of view, right? So it's like when I live stream races that I've done. It's cool, right? You're with me in the car, but it's not like tuning in and watching a race where you get to see where everybody's at, what place everyone's in, different parts of the action, different camera angles, replays of cautions, things like that, and commentary, right? So a lot of leagues do that, but they have to pay people to do it, right? Because nobody's going to do that for free, and you got to charge a fee, things like that. I don't mind because of the added experience. I actually went and watched the races after I completed them, and I got to see it from a different point of view. Um, and I really enjoyed it. So those are things that I do think iRacing makes possible that sometimes you can't get somewhere else. So if you can join a league, even if you got to pay a fee, it's usually worth it, right? And being realistic, I knew going in I wasn't going to be competitive, and most of the time I was mid pack or closer to the rear. These guys are good, and I guess there are leagues where you can join, and they kind of only take a specific skill set. Like if your I rating isn't high enough or whatever, like they try to make it where people are evenly matched, but you can't really do it, right? And I'm not looking to do something like that here. I just want to get a nice group in there. As long as people don't get too serious with it in terms of like, hey, shit happens, let's just have fun. I'm okay, right? I'm not coming in here thinking I'm going to be competitive, but I just want to have fun. And that's what I'm looking for right now. So, yeah, joining a league is highly recommended. Hopefully, you'll join this league and we'll see what happens. Okay, good, Landon, accept it. Mark, forget, how you doing? Friday at what time? Okay, that's the other thing that we're going to talk about is the time. All right, so I'm thinking 8 o'clock would be good. If most of you say, hey, that's not a good time for me, it has to be later or soon, whatever, we'll try to gauge it, right? Because I do want to kind of try to appease as many people as I can. I'm thinking Friday night, 8 o'clock would be a good time. And then we could have like a 7 o'clock practice, 1 hour, and then roll over into the race. But I don't know, right? It depends on you guys. I'm flexible on Friday, but I definitely don't want to do anything too early either, right? So I'm thinking try to keep it sometime after 7 o'clock. Um, so you guys who are gonna join, just give me an idea. Like say, hey, I would it would work for me this time. and then we'll try to work something out, right? Again, this is just we're feeling our way around right now. We're still in the um, you know, designs. I was gonna say design stage, but whatever. Like we're trying to figure this out. Samuel Smith, can I get an invite? Is if let us know if that's your name on iRacing. We'll get you an invite. Well, yeah, Landon already asked that. Okay, so hold on. I don't know if you need your number, but if you know, it doesn't hurt if you want to put your number, your iRacing number. Sharp says, I just want to have fun, enjoy it as a hobby. I probably never do NASCAR 21 ignition content. If anything, from 21, 22, it'll be from iRacing. I own all the content, so I'll have fun. Yeah, man, you know, whatever you enjoy, do that. And I think people in what people like, I think, give me one second. I think what people like is just first and foremost, if somebody's genuine, right? If people feel like, hey, this guy's really just being himself, people like that, I think. Even if they don't agree with everything you say, to me, that's overrated. I don't think it matters, right? I do. There are people that just like to live in what a vacuum chamber, you know, an echo chamber, so to speak, where they only hear what the things they like and agree with. What they just want to hear what they want to hear. It's tough for some people to hear things that they disagree with or that force them to think in a different way. So, not a lot of people can do that, but I do think they're more receptive to somebody they may not always agree with, but at least, hey, at least the guy is being honest. He's not just trying to tell me what he thinks I want to hear. So, that's my only advice to you. Just be yourself, be genuine, and you're going to attract people. And I think that even though this is how I feel about my channel. It's small, it's a very small following, but the people that do follow, they've been with me a long time. I recognize most of you guys by now in terms by name. Some of you are kind of new, but some of you have been with me for years. And the thing that I find is that even though it's a small channel, people do appreciate, what they get here, right? Because they keep coming back. There's people out there that have a big subscriber count, but a lot of it is fluff. A lot of it is a bunch of kids or, people that probably subscribed and then just like forgot they're subscribed or don't care, whatever. For me, really feel like um, the people that are with me really appreciate it. And that's why they keep coming back. So, yeah. Let's see, what's your favorite thing about iRacing? Um, like I guess the physics and yeah, there are times it's hit and miss, right? But when it hits, when you are in a race that you're actually enjoying, it's really good, right? And that's the thing. It is a bit inconsistent. And the reason it's inconsistent it doesn't have really a lot to do with iRacing. It has to do with the nature of racing real people online. You can go in one race and you get a good group and you'll enjoy it. And then you go to another race with a bunch of different people and then you get a bunch of clowns and people just driving over their head or taking it too serious. Um, I'll never forget when I first joined, right? And I first got to um, not Cup, I think the C class, right, where you could drive in the trucks. And I was excited because I'm like, all right, finally, I can do some NASCAR stuff. And I remember I got in a race. I was still feeling my way around. And halfway through the race, I'm running. And this guy just pulls up behind me, right, down the backstretch. And he just doesn't fucking lift. And I got a little loose. And he just fucking ran over me, wrecks me. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, he's like, oh, what he said to me was drive faster. That was his response to me. So in other words, he thought I didn't belong there. Like, oh, you're in the way. You're too slow, so I'll just run over you. And I'm like, you could have waited till the exit and then just gone underneath me. I wouldn't have blocked you. I saw him come, from quite a ways. In like 2 laps, he was really catching me. So he couldn't wait. And I'm like, you would have easily been able to pass me in the next corner. And he was like, well, too bad. You next time drive faster. And I thought to myself, wow, what did I get myself into? Is this what everyone's like? And I was already regretting it. Now, thankfully, it's not like that all the time. And honestly, to meet a douchebag like that is rare, right? So I'm just throwing out there that yeah, it's hit and miss. So, but when it's good, when you are in a race that everyone's like kind of respecting each other and you're actually somewhat competitive, you do feel good. And that's to me the best part of it. So, and the AI is really good. You just got to spend time tweaking it, right? Once you find the right settings at a particular track, very enjoyable. Um, they did a good job with the AI for the most part. There are issues, there's a lot they can improve, but I think that even if you just want to mess around with the AI, um, you have that option. And that's a really good thing. That's probably the best thing they've added to iRacing in recent years. It took a while, longer than I anticipated, but when they finally did, it really is a good addition. So Landon says if you refresh the page, Disco, you can see updated list of people that joined. Okay, I will refresh it. Let me get down to the bottom of the list. I'm taking a little too long, so let me get this going. Made the league website with your channel. Okay, very good. Um, I guess that'll work. Samuel Smith 11. That is a common name. See what happens when you have a common name on iRacing? You end up with a number 11. So very good. So all right, man, we're starting to add people. I like that. I was starting to worry. Um, just be respectful and have fun. That's yeah. Listen, man. There's gonna be wrecks. There's gonna be cautions. People gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna wreck somebody. So um, I just have fun, man. I think we can have a good time. Um, so Don Bender says, how many races will be in your first season? Okay, we're gonna cover that. You know what? I want to get to this list. Let me just scroll down, and I'm gonna get to that. 8 would be good. I got it. 8 works for me. I think 50% race length. Just so you know, he's talking about estimated times. Okay, yes. I was going to say only 8 races for the season. That's not good. But yeah, 8 o'clock I think is good, right? I know some people work, uh, you know, I was a little worried because I noticed that most of the time with these live streams, I get people joining when the stream is almost over or it's like 9 o'clock. So I was kind of worried about that. If worst comes to worst, if a lot of people are like, hey, 8 is a little too early, we can do 9 o'clock. I think. Um, I'm okay with that. I'm flexible, but I want to try to gauge where most people are. Okay. Okay. Just so you know, it's like my estimated times. I started running NASCAR schedule on iRacing against the AI. Tons of fun. Yeah, man. My only issue with the AI is, like I said, every single track is different. You really can't. I wish you could have the same settings and it kind of gives you the same experience at every track. And it's not like that. You really do got to put in. And what I suggest to people is if you want to run a good race against the AI, make you got to take some time, right? If you have an extra 45 minutes or so or an hour, and you can do like a one full green flag run against the AI, that's going to give you a good idea on what adjustments to make to the settings so that when you do the actual race, you don't have to back out after 30 laps and say, okay, it's too easy or too hard or too this or too that. So that's my advice. My guy Disco. Hey, what's up, Austin? Welcome. Agreed, Mike Jennings. Let's see. I'm doing well. Hope everything's good. As crazy as it sounds, I'd rather race AI than being in those official sessions. Less BS, more fun. Yeah, like I said, look, man, with the AI, for the most part, you're gonna get clean racing. And I've mentioned this before. I'm not gonna get into a big discussion about it, but if you get the settings just right, I do think you get a more realistic race against AI than against people online. Because people online, they do things that you don't see in real life, right? Sometimes you might see Ross Chastain do something dumb or somebody like that, but for the most part, real life professional drivers, there's certain moves they don't do that when you race people online, it's a virtual world. They're going to do shit that they would never do in a real car. And I think that's why sometimes racing real people, it's not always the most realistic experience. So, all right, let's see. Hello, Chasey Plays. Welcome. 1000. Okay. So, we're going to get to hold on. Let me refresh this. And bear with me. What the hell? Okay. Okay, so we've added two people so far, Michael Jennings and Scott Boyden. So okay, man, it's we're going. Okay, the middle part of the Richmond race was the best part. It was awesome. If you missed it, then you really missed the best part of the race, unfortunately. We'll talk a little bit about Richmond, but I really want to get to some of the main details here that you guys can give some input. Right? So the name of the league has been changed. It is the Disco Cup Series. Um, the number of members. Okay, so I'm thinking somewhere in the 20s, right? I really don't want to start if we have less than 20 people, okay? I just feel like if the group is too small, you're not going to get the same sense of accomplishment out of it. And I really feel like 20 is a good minimum number. You guys let me know how you feel about that. But I'm thinking like 20 is sort of that line I want to meet. Once we reach 20, hopefully we get more. But I feel like, hey, okay, we can start this thing, right? So that's where I'm at just at the moment. So give me your input on that. Let's see. Start my settings at 70 and it's very little change afterwards. If I want it harder, I'll go up 5% till I feel like it's a good spot. Yeah, that's good, man. But it does take time to feel out each particular track against the AI. Let's see, I'll accept invite ASAP. Okay, so Sharp is not in yet. Okay, so I think you got the invite. I agree, 20 cars minimum to start a schedule. Yeah, so we're going to try to get 20. And hopefully it grows. Hopefully more people join. I don't know if people can join once the season starts. Landon, let me know. I don't see why not, right? If you're joining for fun, even if you want to join after the season starts, I think that's possible. Again, I'm going to lean on Landon here to let me know what's possible and what isn't. But I would like to start with 20 minimum. Okay, now race length, right? Um, let's see. I think they can join anytime. Don't quote me. Okay. Yeah, I don't see a problem with it. Why wouldn't they like allow you should be able to join at any point. Okay, I accept it. Let me refresh it again. The race lengths, the thing I'm absolutely sure about. Okay, we got Tanner Sharp in. All right, very good. We got six. We started the live stream with three, and we're up to six. So, okay, we're gonna make it happen. It's just a question of how long it's gonna take. Okay. Um, and obviously, if you guys know people, you can, you know, let them know that we're looking. Hold on a second. All right. All right. So I refreshed the page. We're up to six guys. Very good. The race length, right? I think Landon did mention somewhere 50%. Hold on. Yeah, I'm thinking 50%. Okay. I'm definitely up for a 50% race. But I want the input from everybody, right? Um, on the regular just races that are on all the time on iRacing, usually the open, which is custom setups, is twice as long as the fixed. The fixed, the thing about the fixed races is I find them to be a little too short, and you can actually run a whole race in any fixed series without pitting. You don't need to pit for fuel or tires or anything. I want the race to be long enough where you have to pit. That's definitely what I want. Now, if you guys are okay with 50%, I'm a happy guy. But if most people say, "Oh, that's a little too long," we can I think we could be flexible. But I'm happy with 50%. The long races are more enjoyable, and it allows strategy to play a role, tire management, and a lot of times it lets people's real skill rise to the top. I find that the shorter the races are, the less skill comes into play. Like you can, I don't know. I just, yeah, it's definitely 25. Is going to be 25% uh, longer than that. So um, now, if people don't want it to be 50% long, then what I would suggest is it should be 50% longer than what a fixed race is in these open races. I mean, not open races. The races that you see uh, on with the official races, right? Just giving you an example. Let's say at Atlanta, the fixed races are 50 laps, right? You can run the whole race without pitting, whatever. The open races are 100. So when I say 50% longer, then you would go from 50 to 75 laps. So it's somewhere between 50 laps and the 100. That's the open race. In the middle, it would be a additional 25 laps if it's a 50 lap race. I hope I'm not really confusing people, but I definitely want it to be where people have to pit. But I am open to just doing 50% races of actual lengths. Um, yeah, I'm a happy guy if we could do that because that's a pretty good size race, and it lets everything come into play. So let's see if I find. Let's see, I would be happy with 50%. Something to keep in mind is these races theoretically should have less cautions because we are racing for points. We all know each other, so races should click by fast. I agree. When you're racing for points, it does change things, right? And that's what I like about these leagues. When you just jump into these official races, you're just racing, right? And it's if you wreck, you back out, you go to another race. People don't care as much. Um, and I did notice that when I was in that league, the races were a lot more serious in terms of how people drove, and really there was more respect. We actually went through almost two full races without a caution. I might have been, from what I remember. I mean, this was over a year ago, but I enjoyed it. Let's see. Having a hard time putting in a number. Yeah, I don't know. Like I think the goal should be 50% long races. That's long enough to have everything come into play, and I'm good with that. In iRacing UI, go to the league roster that you can select your car number. Yeah, it'll give you an option. So yeah. Let me see something real quick. I wanted to show you guys history. I just want to find. Hold on. Stick with me because I want to show you guys. I did actually find some coverage of when I was in the league, and I'll find. Okay, here we go. Pocono. So, give me a second.
Gonna end some knots there, unfortunately.
Okay, just so you guys can get an example. This is actually um, you should be able to edit. We'll figure it out. Maybe even Landon might, if you tell him what number you want, maybe he can put it in for you. Um, just to show you guys, right? This is when I was in this league. Now, this was the website. I think is Sim 500 Esports, but the channel was Trackside Racing Network. And this is what I liked about the league. Like, you actually, hold on a second. You actually had broadcasts, right? So you look at this. Man, my internet is slow, so bear with me. But you can actually see here, you got the whole lineup. This was, what caution was this? There was a big caution. All right, hold on. And there's commentary. It's like watching a race on TV. I really wish that those of you who are interested in just watching, that you could get to see this. It's like watching on TV. You can see everybody here.
Caution back out onto the track surface. Big one has happened at Pocono.
Watch
You
this.
see the trucks scattered. We talked about it.
So pay attention. So I remember this wreck to this day because I was involved. But you'll get to see the replay. It's commentary, all that good stuff.
And it does happen. It looks like Justin Fuller caught up in it as well. Here's the replay, and it looks like the 70 Jose Polanco comes up. Oh, okay. The 81 just dies, it looks like. Paul Crumper, the 70 may be also incapacitated, as well as the 81. And the 3 and everybody else. That was wild.
Wow.
Wow. We're going to have a great view here in a minute. I got to find out who that was that made it through that. It looked like
And then you get replays,
Gerald
and different
Livingston.
camera
It looks like
angles.
maybe.
Just like watching a race on TV. And I love that. And I wish we could do that. But obviously there's a lot
Watch,
more
yes.
involved. Look at that.
It's going to be wild. Bar with Gerald Livingston. Sees the wreck in front of him. A lot of smoke. Really nowhere to go. You just hope that you can make it through. Look at that. Brian Wortman in the 74's point of view. Oh, gosh. And then, unfortunately, Justin Fuller.
You'll see, that's my truck right there.
And last but not least, Jose Polanco. This is a wild one. And you heard that big boom. Never a good thing. And his truck is done. And unfortunately, going to end some knots there. Unfortunately, a lot of guys on pit road. I'm going to be honest, if I'm these guys, I'm maybe coming down pit road here to take some more fuel because you never know.
I had better runs. So hold on, let me refresh this. But I've had better runs in that league. But regardless of how disastrous that was, um, I did enjoy my time in that league. And as you could see, like you can go back, watch the race in its entirety, and it's like watching it on TV. And to know that you are in there competing as part of it. And I wish I could, you know, broadcast it that way to you guys, but you know, that's beyond my capability. But who knows in the future? But in either case, I will live stream my race, right? But it's not the same. Like you're just gonna be stuck with me in my car. And if I wreck or I'm out the race, like you're not getting the full thing. But that's the difference, right? When you can actually broadcast it and live stream like that, I think that would be cool. That voice was the announcer for that league. So I hope I did I screw that up. You guys were able to see. Okay, I think so. Yeah, that voice. That was the announcer guy. And I've seen other leagues with other broadcasters that did an even better job. This was, I mean, you could do a better job, but for me, it was just cool being a part of it. But so far, I think we are locking down um, 50% race length, right? So the other thing we need to talk about is the schedule. Now, right off top, I I'm feeling like okay, let's just do the cup schedule as is, right? There's a lot of tracks I fucking hate, but I'm willing to do it, like just for the hell of it, just to keep it authentic. But it's up to you guys. Will you watch the rest of the race if you wreck out? Um, yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, if I wreck out, I guess I could figure out. Yeah, I'll watch it, and then obviously we can't broadcast it like that and stuff. Um, what I'll do is, maybe if I can keep doing this Mondays, right? Because remember, I am at work. I don't want to make promises, but I'll start off my live streams talking about the previous race, and I'll show you where where the standings are. I'll talk a little bit about it, right? So at least people feel like, hey, I'm part of something. They're talking about me. They're showing where I'm at. It's not as good as like having the other stuff, but this is just for fun, and I'll do what I can. I'll talk about the race. But again, you're going to get really my point of view because I can't tell you what's going on everywhere, right? Okay. So Barn Burner Gaming is Scott Boyden, I believe. So he wants the number 96. So we're taking care of guys. We're getting you the numbers you want. Um, yeah, you guys will definitely know. You'll see me on the track. I made my own paint scheme, and it has Disco Inferno 70 on the car. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. Like I really do hope we get at least 20 people. Right? It's early. Um, it would suck. Like if a week from now or 2 weeks from now, and we're sitting here and we just can't get 20. Yeah, it's gonna suck. I don't want to think that way. I want to be positive, right? Hopefully, I did send out invites myself. I know one of my followers, and I just haven't heard from him in a while. But we usually keep in touch. I know that if he can, he will join. Um, hopefully, he does. He was in that league with me as well. I mean, yeah, in that league. Um, so yeah. Um, yeah, that's the other thing. If I remember with the Eutechnics game, the only thing I did kind of like was they did let you add AI to the online. It's just that those games suck so bad. It never really worked right. But the idea of it, I was a huge supporter of it. And I always said, if you can add AI to online racing, it's a game changer if it's done right. because it helps create a buffer between you and the other people you're racing, and it makes it more realistic. And the AI is programmed to run more realistically, right? You're not going to see the AI doing crazy dive bombs and so it adds some stability um, to the overall experience, but it never really worked, right? And the AI was horrible in the Eutechnics games, but it was something that I at least liked that they where they were going with it. Unfortunately, no one else tried it, right? We didn't get that with the Heat games, or so I don't think you can add AI, but that would be a real game changer. Because imagine running a whole season with even just a couple of friends and just filling out the field with AI, right? And there's so much adjustment with the AI in iRacing that you could really set it up where it's competitive and you know but I don't think you can. How you doing, Bruce Wayne? I wish I could participate, but my time is very limited. The moment sounds like it will be a fun league. Yeah, it's time is very important, and if a league that isn't exactly to your schedule, you're screwed. Sorry to hear it. Landon says, what are some must-have tracks on the schedule? Like I said, I'm only speaking for myself. I'm okay sticking to the schedule, right? But if people really want other tracks, I'm open. And or if you want to eliminate certain tracks, like there's a track you just don't want in the schedule, maybe we can replace it with something where it's all customizable, right? Let's just say, for example, we don't want that fucking Coda race, we could just replace it with something else. If we don't want the Bristol dirt, we could replace it with something. I'm not saying let's do it. I am leaning towards let's just run the schedule the way it is, you know, come hell or high water. But if you guys want to try something different, let us know, right? Um, let's see. I know I'm not going to be in the league, but can I have a safer tracks? I will watch it. Listen, I'm willing to listen to people's suggestions because if you make a suggestion, even if you're not racing, maybe somebody who is racing says, you know what, I like this idea. I'm gonna keep an open mind, and I'm not gonna try to push people into any direction. You guys let me know. I'm starting off with the mindset of let's just do the cup schedule as is and go, right? And some races we're gonna like, some we aren't. It is what it is. That's where I'm. That's my starting point. You guys can, try to steer me in a different direction, and I'm open. Homestead, Phoenix, Richmond, Auto Club. Yeah, that's all part of the schedule, so I don't think we'll have a problem. Manuel Ortiz, hello, welcome, hello, glad you made it. Bobby Birch says you should have the 2023 to start. Yeah, like, um, I'm cool doing the cup schedule. Like, let's see. Because, I don't want to get too lost in the weeds trying to figure out a schedule because literally, I guarantee you, we can stay here 2 weeks and we won't all, you're not, you won't, you'll always be like, well, what about this track? So at some point, we gotta make some kind of decision. Landon says, are you sure you want to do the full schedule? Maybe it will add a sense of urgency to make the schedule a little shorter, maybe 10 to 15 weeks. Again, I am open, right? If everyone else says, hey, yeah, you know what? Maybe we can shorten it a bit, and maybe that will allow us to get rid of some of these, the tracks nobody wants to run at, right? I'm open, so I am open, right? I'm not going to be a hard ass about all this stuff. Give me a second. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Yeah, so we got the name of the league. We're looking for a minimum of 20. If once we get like at least 20 guys, I think we can start the league. Yeah, I suck at road courses too, man. Um, just a suggestion from experience from a guy who does not like road courses and sucks at road courses. I enter every road course race with the mentality of I'm not racing anybody. I'm racing myself, the track, and I err on the side of caution. So I drive a little more conservatively, right? And I just run my race. And I find from experience that even though I'm nowhere near as fast as most people on the road course, if I don't make a mistake, I get better results than I would if I really pushed hard. So I might be leaving, you know, a half second, sometimes a full second on the track, where if I pushed harder, I might be able to get that quick lap, but I can't do that, consistent, right? I'm just not good on road courses. So I find that if I just run my pace and not worry about what other people are doing, a lot of these people, they make a mistake. They're way faster, and then all of a sudden they spin out at a corner or lock the brakes or they get into somebody. And I end up like all of that time they made up, they lose it. If I just slow and steady gets me out of there, and then I just take what I got and then I move on, right? That's how I do it. So, or you could practice and just get better, right? I don't, it's tough to practice when you really hate a track. So, I do some practice and then I just go. And as long as I know what gear I need to be in at every section of the track, and then I just go. Um, Maybe like 1.5 mile and super speedway only have one race per season. Actually, mile and a half tracks are my favorite. I don't know. I'm against getting rid of any of those, but we'll see. Get rid of Indy road course. Yes, shit. If most people agree, I'm okay with that. Okay, Project 94. Do I have permission to create a logo for this league? I design graphics. Yeah, man, give it a shot. I'm okay. Anybody that wants to like contribute in any way, I'm okay with it. We're here to have fun, and yeah, you know, somehow whatever you do, maybe if you could work a disco ball in there or something, just just to make it unique, to let people know it's the Disco Cup Series. But do what you want. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Just need the name. Yeah, it's the Disco Cup Series. It's very simple. Um, yeah. Landon says, I made the logo a disco ball. If you can come up with something cooler, go for it. Yeah, I didn't even see the logo. But you said you're using my channel. Okay, whatever. I'm lost. But yeah, do what you want to do, guys. Sorry I didn't know. Yeah, man. I mean, shit, do something if we like it. It's no problem. Let's see. The logo is on the iRacing user interface. Um, is it on the other? Is it on the? Yeah, because this isn't the other iRacing UI. This is the old one. Because I tried to get on the other one, and what happened is you have to download the update, and if and it I can't do it at work because my internet is not fast enough. It is just not gonna do it. You're on the website, so it doesn't show up. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out when I get a chance, but I can't do it at work. Let's see. If IDK was the broadcast, that would be good. Yeah, I know he has a pretty cool thing going. Isn't it Mr. Something Night? I think I saw part of one of the races. He does pretty good announcing. I got to give him credit. Um, yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, those are fucking serious stuff, serious leagues or whatever. And you know, we're not at the point where we can pay people to do that stuff. This is really early. Right now, my biggest concern is getting enough people to join. We're just starting, so I'm not super concerned. Hopefully, as time goes on, I'll post reminders on Twitter just saying, hey, looking for people to join, um, and see what happens, right? It's going to be a kick in the balls if we can't get enough guys, right? I don't want to think negative, but, you know. Yeah, it's NR, yeah. Um, Night in America. Yeah. I don't know why I always think Mr. Night. NR, I always think of it as MR, but it's NR Night in America. Yeah, he does a good job with it. I got to give him credit. I don't know. It's like I remember him doing the other stuff, and it's just like he's matured or something. I don't know that much about IDK players, so I don't want to say that, but it does seem like he's coming to his own. He's doing his own thing, and that's really cool. Doing the announcing and yeah, that's awesome. I wish people that like who are interested in watching could get that experience. Unfortunately, yeah. Um, I am gonna live stream from my seat, but it's not the same. Let's see, man. Now I really want to join. Yeah, it sucks, man. If it's if you can't join for some reason. But like I said, if you have iRacing, even if you can't join my league, that's my biggest thing. Like if you're looking, how do I make my iRacing experience better? If you're in a league, it does add a lot to the experience, right? Doing these random races, all the time, it's like, yeah, it's very hit and miss, and you don't know. You can have a really good race, then the next race is just constant. The worst races for me are the ones where there's a caution every 2 laps. Um, Martinsville is like that. And I actually like Martinsville. It's not a bad track. Um, but man, some of the worst races I've had is Martinsville. Like these people cannot complete a lap. Um, they just dive bomb the corner. They push it 3 wide. Um, and that's one of the biggest negatives of iRacing. You really are racing people that are fast, they're really good, and they have no patience. And people just can't, you know, they want to take everything right away. And it just puts people in bad positions. And man, you really can't. That race is almost undoable. Every time I've been at Martinsville, it's just one caution after. The whole race is under caution. So Landon says, I would imagine we're just using the Winston point system, or we can modify the point system in a way to make it interesting. Yeah, the points. I don't know. Like whatever. I'm down for whatever. I probably think maybe the point, just the straight up, point system, Winston points, whatever, is probably the best way to go. But yeah, let's see what people say. Project 94 says, I remember I called one of my diecast races in the Disco Inferno 7400 as tribute to your channel. Really? I didn't know that. It would have been cool if I saw it. Like, maybe I'll try to find it. Um, wow, I didn't even know that. That's something like I really appreciate it. Wow. Bobby Birch says, is this something that last time I joined in a year, I need better computer? Yeah, I mean, look, man, let's see where this goes. But like I said, my biggest concern right now is can we get the 20, right? Just to make it a thing. And yeah, that's my biggest concern. Once we do that, if we can do it, we can get this thing going. and I think people will have fun. We can have a top five playoffs of the last five races. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna leave that to Landon. I don't know how the points can be set up. I know that iRacing keeps, you know, points and stuff for you. I just haven't really looked. Um, yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I'm gonna see maybe another 15, 20 minutes before I call it. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of people tonight. Um, it's a very small room tonight. I thought we'd have more people show up. So I'm looking. I know it's me, Landon, Bobby Birch is here. I don't know if Tiger's still here. Some of the people that joined, I don't know if they're still here. Um, it's a bit smaller group than I had the last time, but we got a couple more people to join. Uh, let's see. Nobody really said anything about the race length, so I think 50% races would be a good idea. Let's see. Okay, when you're in official races and find someone that races clean, you can always talk to them, invite them. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that. Project 94, I'll probably put the diecast race link to the race in the next stream. And you were in the open series. I did. And you competed for points and the championship. Oh, cool. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to checking that out. Wow. So yeah. So I think 50% race length is sounds good to me. I haven't seen anybody really oppose it. Again, we're not going to settle everything tonight. Um, the schedule, I think the cup schedule, if you want to remove a couple races because just to shorten the season a bit, again, I'm open to options. The schedule's still in question. And like I said, we still have time. More people going to join. Um, I don't think we have enough people to make that determination, but yeah, and we're looking, I think, as a benchmark, try to get 20 guys. Um, that's pretty much it. The league name has been changed. It's the Disco Cup Series now. Let's see, we can have Disco interview the winner. Just a thought. Yeah, let's see what happens. I got to figure that out. How do I do that? Um, let's see. I am on Discord, so we could probably figure something out. Action 46 Network has those races that I did with Diecast. Yeah, I'll look for that. Landon says I'm getting off the stream for the night. Disco, I think we made some progress one by one. I think we'll get to 20. Yeah, man, we made some progress. We got three more people to join, so it's up to six. Those of you who have joined, if you know anybody that you trust, you can also say, hey, whatever, and then we'll figure it out. We'll get them in. Uh, yeah, and so we have a general idea of where we're going with this. And hopefully, next time I do a live stream, maybe we can get more people in the room. Yeah, we only got a handful of people today, but it's better than nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. I want to thank everybody for joining and showing up, and I always appreciate it. So we're gonna keep pushing and see what happens. And maybe let's see, that would be funny if Real Radman joined and won. I remember him saying that he had a 5,000 I rating at one point, so I'm sure he's pretty good. Um, I'm open to it. Like he's not gonna join, I don't think. Um, yeah, and he had to interview him. Yeah. So Captain Sleeveless, how do you feel today? Yeah, that would be weird. Um, so yeah, guys. Thanks for coming. Uh, we made a little progress, right? You got to crawl before you can walk. Thanks everybody for coming. Those of you who joined, welcome. It's gonna take a while, right? So, it'd be great if we get to that point where I can say, okay, we're starting on whatever Friday. Okay. Daytona. Yeah. So, excuse me. Yeah. Let's see. No way, Jose. Hey, Brian, welcome. Uh, yeah. With my luck, people are probably going to start coming in and joining. I do notice like people do join after 9 o'clock. There goes Alex. Welcome. Wow, people are showing up late. Maybe the next live stream I might try to start at 9. It does feel like 8 o'clock may be a little soon for most people to join. Those of you who are joining, thanks. I'm about to sign off. So if you want to see what we talked about, you know, obviously, uh, go back and see. We've been talking about the league that I'm trying to start here. We got 3 more people to join. We're looking for at least 20 people. So um, check it out. And I'm definitely gonna do another live stream Monday. Um, or maybe I'll do one from home later this week. I don't know. But if I do, I will definitely post on Twitter. You'll see the disco ball and you'll know it's coming. And hopefully you guys can make it. And if I do, the next live stream is definitely going to start at 9. Um, I think 8 o'clock may be soon for most people. So I'm going to keep that in mind. We'll do a 9 o'clock start. Next time start at 8:30. See, yeah, I'm thinking it just seeing by most of my live streams, people show up around 9 or later. So I think 9 o'clock start is what I'm gonna aim for. But thanks guys for those of you who popped in. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. We're gonna keep this moving, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. So let's see. That's gonna be it for tonight. If you want to join the league, um, you can see in the background, I'm Jose Palenko too, and Landon Kimmett is running the league. So you can get in touch, send us your name on iRacing, and we'll send you an invite. Okay? It's not starting yet. We're still quite a ways away, but if you are interested, Friday, the league's gonna be Friday nights, right? And we're looking at 8 o'clock Friday nights. It's still subject to change, but that's what we're looking at. So if you're available Friday nights, you're on iRacing, you want to be a part of it, let us know. We'll send out invites. So good night, guys. Have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you guys around later.